evening, everybody. Welcome to the IPFW Hilliard Gate Sports Center on the campus of Indiana Purdue Fort Wayne. Tonight, it's Women's Basketball Division II action. Northern Kentucky taking on IPFW in a Great Lakes Valley Conference matchup. Northern Kentucky coming in here just a beat behind Fort Wayne at 5-3 in the Great Lakes Valley Conference. That's currently good for fourth place. Indiana Purdue Fort Wayne 6-2 second place, one game behind front runner Bellarmine. So this is a very important game for us. Paul Farbaugh joined by Diana Small, and Diana, Northern Kentucky, they're a different type of team than what IPFW is used to seeing. They're very big down inside, and they are going to pound it down in the post.
Yes, they certainly are. They've got senior leader Tammy Schlarman coming back at a 10.5 clip, as well as 6.2 rebounds per game. Then we've got Angel Donnelly at the post position at 6'1", and she's got a 16.9 scoring clip and 7.4 rebounding, followed up by Stephanie Jordan, a sophomore, with the 6'1" points per game and 6.7 rebounds per game. So they're looking at a triple threat down inside, and that's something IPFW is going to want to do, is take that inside game away from them.
And then they have a player, Danita Duncan, coming in off the bench. She lights it up for over 13 a game, so they're going to have to look out down there. On the other side of the coin, Diana, IPFW here does not want to start a losing streak. 2 would be the longest of the year. They lost a heartbreaker to Indianapolis at home last Saturday, 65-63. What do they have to do to right the ship, Greer?
Well, in my opinion, I think they just need to come back in here, get their heads on, and go out and play their own game.
And welcome to tonight's first contest between the visiting.
We're going to go down to the floor right now. Eric Agnew going to introduce the starting lineups for you.
Lady Dons.
First, the starting lineup for the visiting Norse of Northern Kentucky. At one guard, a 5'9" junior from Falmouth, Kentucky, number 51, Amy Moreland. At the other guard, a 5'8" senior from Woodsfield, Ohio, number 34, Guyana Wanhouse. At a forward, a 5'11" sophomore from Columbus, Ohio, number 25, Stephanie Jordan. At center, a 6'1" junior from Dry Ridge, Kentucky, number 13, Angel Donnelly. And at the other forward, a 5'10" senior from Fort Thomas, Kentucky, number 31, Tammy Schlarman. Head coach of the Norse, Nancy Winstall. And now for our IPFW Lady Dons. At one guard, a 5'8" freshman from Auburn, Indiana, number 14, Wendy Recker. At the other guard, a 5'9" sophomore from Decatur, Indiana, number 32, Lindy Jones. At a forward, a 5'9" senior from Fort Wayne, Indiana, number 22, Don Dressler.
Are we going to break after the intro or just go with it?
At center, a 6'1" sophomore from Harlan, Indiana, number 44, Jenny Newhart. And at the other forward, a 5'11" senior from Jeffersonville, Indiana, number 43, Pam Edwards. Head coach of the Lady Dons is Eileen Kleinfelter.
Okay, let's run down the starting lineups one more time for you. For Northern Kentucky, they're going to be in the black and yellow trim tonight. Number 13, Angel Donnelly, going to get the start tonight. 51, Amy Moreland. Number 25 is Stephanie Jordan. Number 34 is Guyana Wahonis. Is that correct, Diana?
Wahonis.
Wahonis. We get that right. Number 31, Tammy Schlarman. For IPFW, it's a familiar cast, same starting 5. It has been working the opening tip the past few games. Jenny Newhart going to jump it up at center. Number 22, Don Dressler, senior in the lineup, as well as senior Pam Edwards, number 43. 32 is Lindy Jones, and the point guard, freshman Wendy Recker. We're just about ready for action here. IPFW 13-4 versus 11-4 Northern Kentucky. Northern Kentucky quickly out. You're going to see that they do want to work the ball inside. Moreland, 51, is going to work down there, along with Schlerman's going to do a lot of damage. Just down inside. Stephanie Jordan.
We've got some full court pressure here by Northern Kentucky.
No shot clock in women's basketball. No 10-second line. There is a shot clock. It's a 30-second shot clock, not a 35 as in men's. Still 22 on the clock.
Definitely worked our advantage sometimes not to have the shot clock.
This is Jones now off the bounce for Newhart. No. Rebounded out of there by Angel Donnelly. And we're just picking up the players for Northern Kentucky. The first time we've got a chance to see them with their numbers. Kept the uniform warm-ups on all throughout the pregame. From the outside, Missy, no. This is Moorhead with the ball. Moreland, rather.
Really looking to punch the ball inside there to Donnelly. She wasn't very well covered at that time.
24 on the shot clock. Travel before Schlerman hits the jumper. First turnover for Northern Kentucky. We're early in here, just a minute by. 2-0 Northern Kentucky. This is Dressler now in trouble. Jones with the bailout now, going to work it on the outside. Wanted Edwards underneath, and Edwards did get a hand on it. Pam got a lot of playing time against the University of Indianapolis, and she responded a little bit with some soreness the next day. Pam coming off an Achilles tendon injury from last season. Wahonis now with the ball. You can see she has a knee injury. An outstanding guard before she went down with a knee injury 2 years ago. Just working her way back into shape. Inside to look to Donnelly off her fingertips. Second turnover for Northern Kentucky.
Looks like we got a sub awaiting the entry for Northern Kentucky.
Little instant note, Danita Duncan coming in at the next dead ball situation. This is Newhart. Northern Kentucky really extending the defense, and another turnover. Newhart forced that time to Edwards. Second turnover for IPFW. They have not put the ball up to the rim yet. Jones with the strip and the steal. Both teams trying to find a rhythm here. This is Recker. Inside Newhart. This is Dressler. First shot and first bucket for IPFW. The bad news is that didn't come till 2.5 minutes in, Diana. 2-2.
Definitely a slow start here for the Lady Dons. Northern Kentucky taking away the inside game a little bit as we tried to punch it inside to Pam Edwards a couple of times down low early.
A little bit of a matchup zone or matchup. Wahonis with her first bucket of the game, 4-2 by Northern Kentucky. That time down defensively, IPFW forcing Northern Kentucky to penetrate.
Nice baseline by Pam Edwards.
Getting a lot of static up here. Is there any way to fix that? Trying to work inside. Donnelly with a good skip.
Basket by Angel Donnelly.
Angel Donnelly with her first bucket of the game, 6-4. Token pressure now, Recker. Working up the timeline. This is Newhart. Can't hit the three-pointer. She hit one against Southern Indiana. Bucket counts. Jones scoring the Nancy Winsell didn't see it that way. That ball was off record, but IPFW gets the break. Michelle Conley, number 10, getting set to check in. This is Jones. That's a 2. 8-8 game. It's going to be a low-scoring one, Diana. What is going to be important for IPFW down here defensively against the Lady Bisons?
Well, as we talked about earlier, they want to take away that inside game. Looks like number 34, Wahonis, is going to come back with the outside shot to try and keep us from doing that.
Well, Wahonis is the outside shooter on the team. Northern Kentucky has attempted 99 three-pointers. Wahonis, 66 of them. She doesn't hit very regularly. 16 for 66 before she nails that one. This is Dressler now with the open look. Duncan with the rebound out. Wahonis now on the push. And Dressler pulls down the board just into the ball game. Shauna Daly, a sophomore, she's number 14. She attempted that shot. 11-8 the count. Just 6 minutes into the first half here. Good overplay that time by Daly. Wendy Recker with the open look. And rebounded out of there by Stephanie Jordan. Well, right now it's one and done for IPFW. They are getting open shots, but not able to knock them down. Opportunity here for Northern Kentucky to break the game open a little bit.
I think something that was key in their loss against Indianapolis, we just couldn't get a lot of people to go to the board to help Pam Edwards out. I think she ended the ballgame with 9 the other night. Getting a lot of open shots, as you said, but not able to pick up the rebounds and convert the putbacks.
IPFW coach Elaine Kleinfelder going to shake up the lineup here. Barb Derry in the contest. She's a freshman, number 21. Michelle Conley, number 10 in. And Kim Recker has been in for a while, number 54, though she hasn't attempted a shot. It's 11-8. Northern Kentucky out on top. This is Conley with the ball. Lady Bison zone giving IPFW some trouble. They do have to have penetration from out on top. Jones that time, it's a 2-point shot. She's fouled by Shauna Daly. Foul on Northern Kentucky. And IPFW has yet to commit the first personal.
You know, Paul, you talked about the penetration that the IPFW Lady Dons need to get here. It's something that we weren't able to do against the Lady Greyhounds, passing the ball a little bit up top. And Lady Greyhounds took advantage of it. Got some steals around the perimeter.
Lindy Jones jumping out, has a chance. Cut the gap to 1. She does. 11-10, 6 for Jones. Northern Kentucky lead just 1. And IPFW showing some pressure. Recker with the steal. And Jones with a layup. Duncan now has Donnelly wide open. She converts back on the other end. All of a sudden we talk slow tempo, and both teams picking it up. One way to beat the press is go right to the orange at the other end and pick up another foul. That's going to be Daly's second, 4th team foul for Northern Kentucky.
No fouls for the Lady Dons.
Couple of substitutions. Jenny Newhart back in the contest for IPFW.
Number 30, Teresa Shriver.
Sophomore getting her first minutes of the ball game. Barb Derry working the ball. Inside Schreiber, nice cut. Back door for the basket. Jones from behind with the rip and picks up the first foul.
Lady Dons take the lead. 14-13 with 12-12 to play.
A lot lot of different combinations working here in the first half for IPFW. Coach Kleinfelter trying to find some offense out there against a Northern Kentucky zone. It's Wahonis, can hit and does. Second three of the game for her. 8 for Wahonis, 16-14 lead. Northern Kentucky back out in front. And when they make the bucket at the other end, they're going to pull out that diamond press. IPFW able to beat it along the sideline. This is Barb Derry with the ball. Dribbling the ball out in front of you, you're going to get it taken away out there. This is Jones. IPFW settling to float along the perimeter now. This is Newhart, has good range, can hit that shot, but misses. And picks up the loose ball down at the other end. That's a 5th turnover for Northern Kentucky. 16-14, both teams still trying to find an identity offensively. This is Newhart. Double dribble, not called.
No call.
That time the ball was not knocked to the floor. That was definitely a double dribble.
Coach Winstell not in agreement with the no call at all for Northern Kentucky.
This is Duncan working down on the glass. Second foul on IPFW. Let's wait and see who it's on. And Michelle Conley picks up her first foul.
Dawn Dressler, number 22, into the game for Lindy Jones. Dawn in a little bit of a shooting slump here the last couple of games. I believe she was 1 for 6 the other night against Indianapolis.
You might be a little charitable there. I think she was 0 for 6. I'm not sure.
I like Dawn. I'll give her one. But I believe she scored our first basket here. Is that correct? She started us out.
That was a 2-point loss to Indianapolis. Indianapolis right behind, tied with Northern Kentucky for 4th place in the Great Lakes Valley Conference. A tough loss at home. Coach Kleinfelter said, though, that you can absorb one of those losses at home as long as you get one you're not supposed to have on the road. And they beat a tough Southern Indiana team who's tied for 2nd place with IPFW here at home. They have Bellarmine at home in the second half of the season, so things are looking all right. Even though that was a tough loss. This is Newhart in traffic.
Surprised to see that ball in her face, and she connected.
Boy, she has just really got better and better as the season has progressed. Just a sophomore out of Woodland High School. Newhart comes in averaging just over 12 and a half a game.
And I believe she's leading the conference in block shots at this point.
Skip pass. Duncan doesn't get it to fall. Jordan out of there with a rebound and put back. And Northern Kentucky is an aggressive team, especially down in the paint, getting the second chance opportunity. Derry there with another dribble out in front of her. Got away with it. Dressler going baseline.
Heady steady, Dawn Dressler, as her teammates refer to her.
The senior picks up her 4th point of the contest. 20-20. We're halfway through the first half. Northern Kentucky, IPFW. Over, this is A.B. Buick. Missing, that would have been a 2. Barb Derry comes out of there with a board. Mayhew, thank you very much, Diana. Mayhew's number 32. She's in the contest for Northern Kentucky. They have 3 of their starters out there. Danita Duncan, the first player off the bench, number 24, is in there as well. Conley connects. Big bucket for Conley. And she had the donut against Indianapolis. I don't believe she had any points, so it's good to see her get off. 22-20, IPFW. Wahonis starting to feel it. 3rd three-pointer, 3 for 3 from behind the arc. 11 for her.
And it's early in the ball game.
They haven't put it back out on the scoreboard yet, but 23-22, Northern Kentucky. And once again, one and done. Wahonis out on the break.
That's twice we've got caught sleeping here.
And Northern Kentucky calling off the press that time. The players are a little winded.
Yes, they appear to be.
Schreiber now with the ball, looking inside, trying to penetrate. Gonna wipe that off a travel. Good look inside. Northern Kentucky player put an arm up. She ducked underneath. Surprised that she had that much open area to operate with. Took another step.
Massive substitution here.
Substitutions both sides.
Here's the replay of that travel.
A Northern Kentucky player just flashed an arm up there. And Schreiber comes out, as does Conley. Back in the contest for IPFW, Lindy Jones. And Wendy Record, number 14, into the contest for Northern Kentucky, number 13, the starter, Angel Donley. Also into the contest, Janice Staley. First time we've seen her tonight, number 30. (27-22) IPFW victim to a 7-0 run here by Northern Kentucky. Newhart working baseline. Three-point lead, and that's a little too tall. Amy Moreland trying to lob it over the defense, work it inside. Stephanie Jordan needed to be about 6'6", go reach that one.
I believe Nancy might want her to be 6'6".
Both teams are getting the type of shots that they want. Here's Newhart with a force off the glass, doesn't fall, rebounded out of there by Duncan.
Here comes the Lady Wildcats. Gets the roll, but travels.
That's a good looking play. Duncan put up a 360 before that she traveled on, wasn't called. Had her wings there, they were just a step behind. Sixth turnover for Northern Kentucky. 27-24, the Lady Bisons out in front of IPFW. 6:45 to go here in the first half. This is Newhart. IPFW having a hard time working it inside. Gonna have a foul on top. That's a 15th foul on Northern Kentucky. Tammy Schlarman picks up her first foul. And IPFW still with just 2 fouls. That time Newhart appeared to get whacked on the arm, no call. Back the other way. This is Moreland up ahead. Donley, good entry pass that time by Schlarman.
Coach Kleinfelter calling for a timeout here with 6:33 left to play in the first half.
Tail end that time. Northern Kentucky continues to carve out good operating space inside the paint. IPFW does take the timeout. 6:33 to go in the first half, 27-24. And what is Coach Kleinfelder explaining to her team right now, Diana?
I certainly don't know, but I would like to hear that she's telling them to get busy on the boards. Because like you said, both teams are getting the shots that they want, they're just not falling.
We'll have to check on that. Second chance points. It's been 0 for IPFW. Northern Kentucky just dominating the boards. And they're also working well offensively down on the offensive board.
You know, Coach Winstow always producing hard-working athletic teams out of Northern Kentucky. Hopefully the Lady Dons were ready and able to realize that the Wildcats were for real this evening. They're wanting to improve their record and jump to a tie or even the lead in the conference here above the Lady Dons, but below Bellarmine.
What's their nickname, Diane? I was calling them the Lady Bisons. I see it's Norse down there. I apologize for
I'm
that.
thinking Wildcats. Are we wrong here?
I have no idea. I've been calling them the Bisons. I don't think they, I know that's not right. I see Lady Norse on it written across their jerseys there.
We'll make them up as we go along.
I'm just going to call, NKU the rest of the way, folks. They're not the Lady Bisons. I apologize for that. I'm sure they're not too pleased about it. Working down inside. Plenty of room to roam down there. Angel Donley, 6 for her. 29-24. And Coach Kleinfelder wanted a defensive stop that time. That one was just too easy. You might have to think about doubling up down there in the post. Duncan picks up her first foul. Team foul number 6, IPFW will be in the bonus the rest of the way. 6:07 here to go in the first half. There's a look at Coach Kleinfelter. Schreiber to trigger. Edwards down and low, in trouble. Jones now. And Northern Kentucky really clogging that middle out top. Schreiber connecting. (29-26). Let's see how IPFW sets up this time defensively. Aggressive man-to-man, looking to double down in the post, and that time a travel.
Wendy Recker almost got caught cheating there on defense a little bit. Nice to see that gamble, though.
Well, Janice Stanley coming out. Guyana Wahonis back in the contest. She has 13 points, 3 of 3 from outside the arc. Every time IPFW has threatened to make a run, she comes back. She's there on the defense, and that time thrown away by Recker.
Just out of Lindy Jones' reach and couldn't get a handle on that wide pass.
Time Recker picked up the dribble too early. Working down inside, still working the board. Tammy Schlerman. Alternate possession rule goes to IPFW.
Schlerman, very aggressive, hard-working player. Doesn't do a lot of flashy things, but she does what it takes.
Into the contest now. Kim Recker and Barb Derry replacing Wendy Recker. This is Edwards now. Trying a little curl pattern, gets it to fall.
Nice flash by Pam Edwards, who doesn't appear to be the quickest player. And then followed by a step around move to the basket.
4 points for Edwards. It's back down to a 1-point lead for NKU. And they continue to lob it over the top of the defense. Donnelly can't connect, and Edwards pulls down a rare board. Chance for IPFW to go in the lead now, 29-28. I'm still not crazy about that crossover dribble in front by Derry. This is Jones working inside, feeling the pressure. Off of Jordan, still IPFW ball, 13 on the clock.
Hopefully Coach K can get that little habit of Barb's ironed out here early in her career at IPFW.
One of many freshmen. There is no junior class for the Lady Dons. A lot of sophomores, a lot of freshmen. And they are the ones getting the playing time. 2 seniors seeing the playing time. Pam Edwards and Dawn Dressler. Pam Edwards in the contest as well right now. They're trying to get her the ball. Tough pass inside, really adjusting that middle off an IPFW player. Might have been Schreiber. Northern Kentucky saying IPFW right now, if you're going to beat us, you're going to have to prove you can shoot from the outside. And IPFW does not take the 3-pointers.
Until down to towards the end of the ball game.
When they have to. It's a 1-point lead for Northern Kentucky.
Michelle Conley preparing to check into the ball game. Shows someone who has the ability to take the outside 3-point shot. Surprisingly enough, at 6 foot.
Edwards blocked it that time, but then got flat-footed as Wahonis took charge in the paint. Schreiber knocked with the foul.
Pam being credited, I believe, with the block shot there before the foul. Pam's the all-time leading block shot person here for the Lady Dons.
Well, both teams trying to get something going. IPFW led 22-20 at one point, and then it was a 7-0 run for Northern Kentucky. Best run of the contest thus far. We've been stuck in the upper 20s here for a while. Wahonis now with a chance to put Northern Kentucky up by 3. She has 14, a chance for 15 here.
Real key player, almost half of their points.
Doesn't connect, but once again, working the boards hard.
Schlarman with that workhorse effort.
Abby Mayhew, number 32, back in the contest for NKU. Lob inside. Donnelly can't control, another turnover. Two-point lead, 30-28. Just under 4 to go here in the first half. IPFW with a chance to tie. This is Dressler. Spacing much better this time. In fact, it's so good, Conley finds the sideline. It's been a jump and go, jump and stop type of game. Both teams still searching to find an offensive rhythm. Jordan now can't control the entry. Dressley picks off a steal. This is Newhart. Out of control. Conley with the board and put back.
Nice putback by Michelle Conley. That's something nice to see here for the Lady Dons.
Also good to see that time. Newhart not shy, going to the hole with authority. It's tied at 30. This is Schlarman inside. Back outside, Schlarman going to penetrate. Donnelly comes out of there. The loose ball.
Down to 8 seconds on the shot clock.
And rebounded out of there by Dawn Dressler. Mayhew couldn't get it to fall. A chance for IPFW to take the lead. Tied at 30. Conley working baseline, covered up by Schlarman.
Really having a tough time reversing the basketball to that corner down there.
And thrown away by Derry. Just had 5 on the clock, and Newhart picks up her first foul.
Michelle Conley almost wide open down there on the block. Could have taken a step in to seal the NKU player off there. Didn't quite make it to that position as they picked it off.
We see Coach Kleinfelter there motioning to Conley to curl around, keep working that curl to the outside. That's Newhart's first foul. IPFW catching up in the foul count, now has 5. Donnelly, Moreland picking up the gift and putting it down. Moreland with her first bucket of the game. This is Recker. Schreiber now with the ball. Newhart down the block, wanted to go to Dressler, but couldn't get it out of there. Rebounded out of there by Jordan. She can't control it. IPFW ball.
Ginny having a tough time getting under control before she takes her shot. She did keep her feet. I thought she was going to travel there.
Well, Northern Kentucky is big. They are very quick. Down in the post, this is Newhart with a spinner.
Much more control on that shot.
And we're tied one more time, 32-32, a minute and a half to go here in the first half. Schlarman with the ball outside. Stephanie Jordan just waiting. Donnelly frees herself inside. Gave a half step like she was going to go back along the baseline. And IPFW could not solve the interior offense of Northern Kentucky. Inside, Conley going to the line for 2. Foul on Angel Donnelly.
Pam Edwards entering the ball game for Ginny Newhart as Teresa Shriver takes a seat for Lindy Jones.
That was the first foul on Donnelly. And the foul count did even out there for a while. It was 6-2, now it's 7-5. But it's a little consequence right now. There's only a minute left, so IPFW will be in the bonus here on out. Conley hits her first, has 5 on the night, chance to tie here. Can't get the second to fall. Amy Moreland pulls down the board. See if NKU can get a 2-for-1 here if they put it up quickly enough. 45 on the big clock, 15 on the shot clock. 30-second shot clock in women's basketball. It's now down to 6 for NKU, and Jones knocks it away. 1 second, it's going to be a 30-second violation. Another turnover. Good hustle that time created by Lindy Jones. And with 30 on the clock, IPFW bringing in Barb Derry to play for the last shot. Possibly. We'll see. Wendy Recker going to trigger from under IPFW's own rim. This is Recker now with the ball. Derry out top. Back to Recker. That's a 2. Doesn't go. Edwards working the board. She and Slarman working for the ball, and Edwards appeared to be over the back, but it is out on Edwards. 19 on the shot clock. That shot came pretty quickly that time. Jones gets a hand on it. Wahonis controls, however. And now this is Wahonis, 12 on the clock. Ahead to Moreland. Moreland has got Jordan underneath. Conley with a foul, counted in 1.
Michelle just unable to stop that momentum.
The players know they have to get back, and Conley running to get back off the press that time. 3-on-2 break, and Jordan converts, has a chance to put NKU up by 4. It's 36-33, just 8 seconds to go for IPFW. Jordan looking for her 9th point of the first half. Edwards clears. This is Derry. Got 5 to go on the clock. Now 3 and a double dribble. Well, a couple of big errors by IPFW here in the end. First shooting the ball with 19 seconds left, and the foul by Conley. Now the turnover, Wahonis. That's the only way you're going to shut her down from behind the arc. The one-hander misses. It's 36-33 at the break. Northern Kentucky out in front of IPFW in a Great Lakes Valley Conference matchup. We're going to take a break right now. When we come back, we'll try and get the halftime stats for you. But right now, stay tuned for the halftime show. 36-33, Northern Kentucky over IPFW.
Die Welt verändert sich sehr schnell.
Изменения здесь достигнут весь мир.
世界が変わるんなら我々もそれに合わせていろんな方法を考えなくてはいけません。
De plus en plus, nous deviendrons tous partie d'une communauté internationale.
Todo el mundo tendrá una oportunidad para formar parte de este cambio.
If there is a common language in the world today, that language would be change. Sometimes evident, sometimes hidden, it is nonetheless constant. And when viewed through the eyes of the world, this change can be wide, sweeping, immediate, and profound. Yet when viewed through a different set of eyes, through the eyes of a child, this change can be personal, at times bewildering. Consider a child from another land whose family has come to Indiana, brought by an international company or organization to America's heartland. For this child, a changing world is felt at a personal level, a level of new language, atmosphere, customs, and new friends. There are more and more children like this one throughout the communities of Indiana. And part of the promise of the years ahead is that there will be many more. The coming international era, it has been called an era in which local economies, institutions, and industries around the world merge and interrelate to an extent far greater than ever before. It will be an era when Indiana's place in the world may depend upon the ability to remain open to the world around us and adjust our ways of thinking and acting. Recently, a group of citizens from around the state, representing many walks of life, came together to form the International Issues Task Force. A group formed with the purpose of determining and enhancing Indiana's ability to thrive in an increasingly international environment and prepare recommendations for the future. In part, the task force considered issues related to the Indiana business community, but their scope extended much further. Because at the heart of all changes are people. And closest to people are basic human issues. Issues that directly affect our ability to work and participate in an increasingly international atmosphere. With this in mind, the task force identified 4 primary areas of investigation. An international school, international service organizations and communications, international transportation, and international education. Each topic was studied by a separate committee, with ongoing staff support and administration provided by the Indiana Humanities Council. The intent of each committee was to determine how to best prepare the people of Indiana to become more valuable and productive citizens of the world community. The International School Committee investigated the feasibility of establishing an international school in Indiana. A school which would serve the needs of Indiana children by creating the opportunity to learn in a unique, world-class educational environment. A school which would also serve the needs of the children of foreign business people, students, educators, researchers, and other visitors to Indiana. As the business of many Indiana companies becomes increasingly global, the need for an international school becomes ever greater, because at the center of the needs of any family is the education of the children. Another task force committee investigated the statewide delivery of international services and information. Indiana is home to many different international service organizations. Yet a study commissioned by the Lilly Endowment revealed a need for these organizations to work more closely together. The task force committee investigated the needs of international employees and their families, foreign students, researchers, and the professional spouses of international executives to determine if services were readily available to international families. For example, foreign families often need special assistance in adapting to their new environment, obtaining driving licenses, learning where and how to meet American friends as well as other foreigners, and generally learning about a new culture. The committee also investigated ways to raise the consciousness of the people of Indiana by providing opportunities for exposure to international cultures through these service organizations. The committee then explored ways to best coordinate, fund, and deliver these needed services to international families as well as Indiana citizens. Central to Indiana's ability to be a vital part of a changing world is transportation. And a task force committee was formed to investigate the possibilities for increasing direct air transportation from Indianapolis International Airport to overseas cities and markets. Many Indiana companies, as well as international business people and visitors living in Indiana, currently need direct air service overseas. The committee not only studied this issue, it developed a strategy for pursuing greater levels of service. International transportation, an important way to more directly link Indiana with the world. The mission of the first three committees was investigating ways to make Indiana even more hospitable to foreign visitors, executives, employees, and families. The fourth committee investigated ways of preparing the youth of Indiana for the international era by studying the present educational system. The committee evaluated the teaching of world geography and culture, world history, foreign literature, and foreign language in an effort to assure that Indiana students are provided with the knowledge and the skills to succeed in the international era. In many ways, the intent of the task force has been to provide a cornerstone from which the state can begin to build and prepare for the future. A future that is rapidly approaching for businesses, for organizations, for families, and for all of us. It is up to us to shape our place in the international era by learning the language of the world, the language of change. The International Issues Task Force has provided an important first step for the people of Indiana, a step toward becoming citizens of the world and making countrymen of all humankind.
Better, or traffic is getting worse. How do you know about stock market trends, the risk of cholesterol, the history of witchcraft, or the future of spacecraft? With statistics, that's how. And how can you find out about statistics? With the new Statistics series, Against All Odds.
Children are the largest group of Americans living below the poverty line. They have to reach higher for what others take for granted. Healthcare, balanced meals, encouragement to learn. But with help early on, children in your community can gain the skills to get out from below the poverty line. It takes programs like Success by 6 and people like you to help them take the first step. Call to learn more. Change the world of a child, and you change the world.
There is a need in your own hometown. Please join your local chapter.
For over 2 millennia, Western society has generated a rich visual tradition of painting, sculpture, and architecture. What do these images mean? How can we understand them? Art of the Western world will take you on an exciting journey that will suggest answers to these and other questions. Beginning in ancient Greece and ending on the brink of the future, it will examine many of mankind's most enduring artistic achievements.
Welcome back to the Hilliard Gates Sports Center. Second half action of IPFW Northern Kentucky University basketball about to continue. And Diana Small, former assistant coach for IPFW with Paul Farbaugh here. And Diana going over the first half stats. They're a little hard to believe. Northern Kentucky 60% from the field, IPFW 58. But there is one big stat that comes out.
As we talked about earlier, Paul, that's the rebounds. The Northern Kentucky ball players coming out with 17 on top, the Lady Dons with only 8, and that includes a huge stat of 1 offensive rebound. And that came by a putback from Michelle Conley towards the end of the first half. Then you want to look at the turnovers, 13 for Northern Kentucky and 9 for the Lady Dons. I believe that a little bit of respect for ball possession could help us out in that area.
Well, you know, when you see these stats, you might think, okay, 58% from the field, IPFW is doing what they want to do, Diana, but not really the case. They are getting good looks at the basket, but they are not really in position. Once after they get that look, they are being really pounded on the glass. What can they do differently here? Because they have been out of position offensively, even though they're just getting good looks from the physical abilities of their players.
I'll tell you what I would like to see, Paul, is senior Amy Perkins enter the lineup here. Girls got the ability to thread the needle, great court sense, and maybe we could get the ball down inside to some of those people like Pam Edwards, Jean Newhart, who've been working hard to post up on the blocks. Also, Amy Perkins gives a little bit of up-tempo to the Lady Dons ball game, and haven't seen a whole lot of back and forth here either way, kind of a slow-paced game as we've seen so far.
And the defense might be able to pick up the offensive tempo for IPFW. Amy Perkins will not get the start in the second half for IPFW. It's going to be the same starting fives first half. Dawn Dressler, Pam Edwards, Jenny Newhart, Wendy Recker, and Lindy Jones. Might want to mention, too, IPFW did not arrive back on the floor until there was a minute 30 left in the 15-minute halftime. So Coach Kleinfelter going over the X's and O's a little bit more than she normally does in the locker room at halftime.
I think she was wanting to make many points here with the Lady Dons before the start of the second half.
For the Norse, they are the Lady Norse. Got that worked out at halftime. Northern Kentucky. This is Wahona. She had 14 points rather than the first half, led all scorers. Same starting lineup except Anita Duncan, number 24, who is going for the ball there, is in the lineup rather than Tammy Schlarman.
Talked about Wahona's shooting. She was, I think, perfect from the floor first half.
They gave that. They didn't count that last half half-court shot attempt. 3 of 3 from behind the arc. 36-33, just into the second half here. The one factor keeping IPFW close in the first half, 13 turnovers by Northern Kentucky. This is Wahonas. Plenty of room for Moreland to operate. She connects.
Moreland shooting very well off the dribble. witnessed once or twice that first half.
Moreland now with 4 points in the contest. This is Dawn Dressler. Newhart on the spin.
Nice save by Pam Edwards, almost. Good effort.
That play was there. Newhart spun her defender around. It was wide open for a 5-foot look at the basket. Pass a little too strong on the lead. That is the 9th turnover for IPFW. They had 8 in the first half. Angel Donnelly now with the ball inside. Stephanie Jordan. She was perfect from the field in the first half. This is Moreland. Working down inside. Duncan double team. Goes for the force anyway and shuffles the V.
Lady Don's coming out with man-to-man defense here. Start of the second half. Had him down to 8 seconds on the shot clock before they turned the ball over.
IPFW will be taking some chances with that man-to-man. Lady Norris have 3 players down the inside that can work you to death. There's one of them. Moreland pulling out of there with a board, stripped away. Jones recovers now. Gonna reset. She's Wendy Recker, fresh 30.
Wendy forgets the basketball.
And Wendy promptly dribbles off her foot with a behind-the-back dribble. Second turnover for IPFW. They have yet to attempt a shot here. We're a minute and a half in the second half. 38-33, Northern Kentucky. Amy Moreland with the ball outside. Danita Duncan. Nothing shy about that move. Duncan's going to go to the hole when she has it.
Wondering where the help side defense was.
Her first bucket of the game. Had 2 free throws in the first half. 7-point lead, biggest lead for Northern Kentucky. And Dressler, 3 straight turnovers to start the second half for IPFW. Duncan now, plenty of room to operate, looking inside. This is Wahonis. Can't get it to fall. And off Donley. Boy, a lucky break that time for IPFW.
Talked about earlier, 3 turnovers to start the half. Every single possession is important. That's one less opportunity to score a basket.
And Coach Kleinfelter knows that. She's going to take a timeout. You don't come out first half and commit 3 turnovers and win many ball games. IPFW trailing by 7, 40-33. Well, in that first half for IPFW, leading scorer was Lindy Jones. She had 8, 3 of 3 from the floor and 2 of 3 from the foul line. Might see Amy Perkins coming in, and as we speak, getting to rip off the jersey top. She is going to get the call here. Wendy Recker, the freshman, has done a decent job the past 5-6 games she has started. Having a little trouble tonight with the pressure from the Lady Norse of Northern Kentucky. So Perkins now coming into the contest.
Hopefully Amy's experience shine through here in the thick of things.
Amy was a starter last year. She is not getting the minutes this year, just under 2 points a game. She's coming back in the contest. 17:44 to go. On the flip side, Northern Kentucky doing exactly what they want to do. Come down, work it inside. Duncan has gone to the hole twice, got good drives to the basket. If they have her driving, and if she's able to penetrate and dish off to either Donley or Jordan, they are going to be very tough to beat and impossible to beat if you turn the ball over.
I have to agree with you there.
23 on the shot clock, IPFW ball. Teresa Schreiber, number 30 in the contest for IPFW. Same starting 5 for Northern Kentucky. Inbounds to Edwards. Boy, another bad pass. Newhart, the recipient that time. Lucky tip. You don't want Pam Edwards handling the ball 35 feet away, initiating the offense.
Ginny Newhart on the replay there.
Newhart at the line. She had 8 as well in the first half.
Rims it.
We'll have a second here, hopefully to cut to 6. She does, 40-34.
pressure in the backcourt.
Up ahead, Donley can't control. This is Jordan wide open from 17 inside. Donley with a hand on the ball, still gets it up, and Schreiber pulls down the board. Big board, Perkins now controlling. Boy, almost into a triple team. Did go in, and Moreland had it briefly before committing the foul on Jones. Second foul of the half for Northern Kentucky. First team foul on Moreland. And another opportunity for IPFW to cut into that 6-point lead. This is Perkins now with the ball to Jones, trying to work inside. Bad pass. Northern Kentucky is really stuffing it down inside the paint. Moreland looking for Jordan, fronted by Edwards. They just flashed Donley and Jordan back and forth on the post. This is Duncan going baseline against Perkins. Jordan with a weak side board. No one there. And an 8-point lead for Northern Kentucky.
Lady Dons with only 1 point on the board for this half.
And we're almost 4 minutes deep. 42-34. This is Edwards. Might have got away with a walk. Donley straight up on her. And we're going to have a foul. I believe it's going to be on Jordan, pushing off with the arm. Newhart fighting for position in there. It is indeed on Jordan.
And Edwards short on that baseline jump shot.
Boy, and what a gift there. That is Jordan's third foul. She is going to come out of the contest. She has 10 points. Of course, you replace her, you bring your top scorer back in. Tammy Schlarman, 17, a contest number 31 back in for Northern Kentucky. Schreiber having trouble inbounding. Newhart controls. Quickly double team. One thing about this Northern Kentucky team, their taller players, their interior players are very quick. Good quickness.
Very mobile.
Schlarman with a jumper, no. Donley that time. Conley complained to the official, better get back in the action. Donley with a tip. Now this is Moreland from 17, no. Duncan with another board. Moreland, 3 offensive boards in a row, and that's down and out. Schlarman with a bucket.
Lady Don's doing a lot of watching instead of getting a body on people. We used to call it, get your butt in their gut.
10-point lead, the biggest lead for Northern Kentucky. Recker picks up the dribble, in trouble. Derry now on the baseline. Boy, what an aggressive man-to-man being shown right now. 10 on the clock. Recker now looking for help. Working inside. Schreiber knocked away by Duncan. Quick hands by Northern Kentucky. Moreland up ahead. Duncan.
It's blocked by Jenny Newhart.
Mahonis, Newhart on the block. And boy, the bleeding continues. 1 point. First 5 minutes for IPFW in the second half. Derry can't get it to roll. And Duncan with another board.
A little hesitant to take that jump shot off the first pass.
Well, I know Coach Kleinfelter talked about boxing out against Indianapolis and how they had problems with it, but it is really showing here in the second half against Northern Kentucky. This is Moreland. That time's just a long rebound, tipped by Donley out to Moreland.
You talk about going to the boards being 90% desire, getting yourself in position. However, it seems like the Lady Dons seem to be a little bit tired, maybe having no legs, which is really going to work against you when you're trying to go for the boards.
Wholesale substitutions coming in. Lindy Jones back in the contest. Dawn Dressler in as well. And Kim Recker, number 54, joins Barb Derry and Michelle Conley. Trying to get something shaken up, and Duncan with the bucket and one.
Barb Derry gets stuck from behind there defensively.
Danita Duncan was doing the acrobatic drives through the hole in the first half. Didn't have anything falling, and they are beginning to go through the net this half.
Lady Don still only 1 point this half.
6 for Duncan. She can outscore the Lady Dons 5-1 if she makes this free throw and give the Lady Norse a 47-34 lead.
She does.
13-point lead, biggest of the contest, 14-10 to go in the second half. And IPFW 1 point in the second half. And I'll have to check this, but I already have them for 5 turnovers. This is Jones now, inside. Gonna have to have more of that from her.
Double pump.
10 for Lindy Jones. First bucket of the second half, mark it down at the 14-minute mark. 47-36. Might already be a little too late for IPFW. Dive Dressler with the tip. Jones rebounds out of there. She's a 1-on-3, gonna press the issue anyway. Inside the slice and one.
Counts it. Lindy had her mind made up, don't you think?
A 1-on-3. Lindy Jones gave the look like she was gonna pull up, then step down inside and glassed it home for 2. What an important bucket.
Lindy
and a timeout by Northern Kentucky. Nancy Winstow going to stop it right here. 13-point lead has now become 9 and can go down to 8.
Lindy Jones shooting much better this game, as she ended the other night with 8 for 22 against Lady Greyhounds, and 2 of those came within about the last minute and a half of the game. She was perfect from the floor first half, 3 for 3 here tonight.
And perhaps just what the doctor ordered. Let her do something to the ball. Let her create on her own. Maybe it'll open up some jumpers for the outside people, loosen up the defense in the interior. The College Cable Access Program Guide provides information about our programming, including IPFW Sports Telecast. To receive your free Channel 6 program guide, send your name, address, and zip code to there on your screen, Channel 6 at IPFW, 2101 Coliseum Boulevard East, Fort Wayne, Indiana. Zip is 46805. Or you can always call somebody at 481-6000. And that is free. That'll keep you up to date on all the live telecasts. Have the men's basketball game. They'll take on Northern Kentucky men's program. They have won 7 in a row. Northern Kentucky has. IPFW down a little bit this year. Should be a good contest though. And Friday night, 7:30, Division I volleyball. IPFW at home versus Lewis University, first-year program, Lewis. That was a halftime score. Wish it was only 3 points. It's 47-38. There's a shot of the head coach, Northern Kentucky.
Correction, they fouled on 51.
And she is taking care of a little business over there. She wanted that foul on Moreland. That would only be the second foul on Moreland. So Jones now with a chance to complete the three-point play. Sophomore guard out of Belmont High School. 13 for Jones. The lead is now 8. A little pressure. Dressler gets a hand on the ball. So Slarman up ahead to Duncan, a 2-on-1. Back quickly, Kim Recker. And IPFW going to the man-to-man. This is Duncan baseline. Well, Dressler almost got a piece of it, but Duncan is continuing to impress.
Nice move by Duncan. We had 2 Lady Dons in help side, and I believe she even shot over Dawn Dressler, maybe, who was guarding her at the time.
And we're going to have a foul the other way. Wahonis picks up the foul. That is team foul number 5. So if there was one positive in this second half, is that the Lady Norse of Northern Kentucky have 5 fouls. IPFW with just 1. Out of bounds play, Barb Derry to trigger now. It's a 10-point lead. Duncan has 7 in the second half for Northern Kentucky. Conley now with the ball. They're really packing it inside. Conley going baseline. Recker with the board and the back.
Putback. She came from nowhere, Paul.
Something that needs to be seen. Work the offensive glass that time. Fought her way in and off the glass for 2. 49-41, Northern Kentucky. It was 13 points at one time.
Lady Dons chipping away here.
Now there's just 8 on the shot clock. It's Wahonis. She can hit from the outside. Inside, Conley almost got a piece of that.
Very unselfish play by the Lady Norse.
Fortunate to get that play too. Conley was in great position that time.
Yes, she was. Michelle Conley, probably the best post defensive player for the Lady Dons.
Rebounded out of there. Schlarman continues to be a problem for IPFW, the offensive glass. (51-41), 10-point lead for Northern Kentucky. Just 8 minutes in. Dressler with a step in, has numbers. Jones out in front.
Nice gather by Lindy Jones in that breakaway.
7 for Jones in the second half. It's back to an 8-point ball game. 51-43. Duncan beating Dressler off the dribble.
Dawn's got some fire in her eyes, creating that conversion, putting pressure on Duncan.
This unit on the floor for IPFW starting to pick it up defensively. Duncan driving right around Dressler. Has the foot speed and can beat Dressler off the dribble, and does.
Well, Duncan's been bad news for us. Every time we get a little bit of a run, she comes back with a nice move to the basket.
And she has been doing it on the drive off the bounce. 9 points for Duncan in the second half. Conley working baseline. Aggressive man-to-man thrown away by Conley. Mayhew with a bucket. First points for Abby Mayhew.
KU goes up 55-43.
And we have a foul underneath. Is that Mayhew going to pick up the foul? That would be. Indeed it is. That is a 16th foul. First on Mayhew.
Teresa Shriver replacing Dawn Dressler for the Lady Dons. Janice Staley into the lineup for NKU, replacing Abby Mayhew.
Well, it's back to a double-digit lead, 12 points right now. IPFW still struggling offensively. Well, Conley with good position that time, but Donley, the board just took a goofy bounce. Up ahead, Wahonis with a look. Janice Staley, the beneficiary. Ring up 2 for her. It's the biggest lead in the contest, 57-43, 10:15 to go here in the first half. Definitely a challenge for IPFW to come back now. They're going to take a timeout and talk about it.
I believe Pam Edwards and Jenny Newhart are going to re-enter the lineup too after we take this timeout.
Well, Coach Kleinfelter resolving to go down there with her big experienced people. Pam Edwards going to come back in. Wendy Recker going to come in as well. Barb Derry going to get a break. Channel 6 is now accepting applications for underwriting the televising of IPFW sports events and other programs. For more information about how your business or organization can utilize this opportunity, call the Channel 6 office during business hours, 481-6000. You can also call that number, I guess, for a free program guide, keep you up to date on all the sporting activities. And folks, if you saw that volleyball game on Channel 33, you would know that this is a good opportunity to get in, get yourself a little publicity. It's going to be a hot year. The volleyball finals are in Fort Wayne this year, May 6th and 7th, and already 3,500 seats sold. And they're not on sale again until March 1st, I believe, through Ticketmaster. So in essence, that's really 7,000 seats sold for that final because it's a 2-day event. So there is a lot of exposure out there waiting for anyone who wants to get involved with it. And this IPFW team, correct me if I'm wrong, Diana, but it was an 11-game winning streak, or was it a 10-game winning streak earlier?
I believe it was a 10-game winning streak before it was snapped down at Bellarmine.
And
always tough to play at Bellarmine.
Bellarmine first place in the Great Lakes Valley Conference. IPFW did not shoot well down there. That was the reason for the loss down there, 27%.
Amazingly enough, we held a 19-point lead at one time.
Tonight, no such luck. It's been the offensive glass. Jones follows, can't get it to fall. And that's after the bucket. Edwards going to the line for a 1-and-1.
Hey, I'm pleased with that call.
Well, there's the crafty senior leadership of Edwards. Working the official during the timeout, comes back and says, hey, watch this guy. Watch the player here. She's checking me. And get a look at it here on the replay. Got the elbow in the back. And a 1-and-1 chance for a 4-point play here. The bucket does count. The basket is good. Nancy Wenzel lobbying the other way.
And talking with Pam, she tells me she makes it a point to kind of schmooze up to the officials. One more advantage for your team.
Well, the bucket is good. It's a 12-point lead now, 57-45, and Edwards now in the bonus. Mark that one down, 10:02, IPFW in the bonus, but one foul on IPFW at this juncture. So IPFW has a chance to do some damage from the free throw line.
And Edwards connects.
And gets them both a 4-point play, just as Coach Kleinfelter designed in the timeout. Back down to 10, it's 57-47. Pressure now, Duncan with the ball, escaping the double team, dribbles away from it rather. This is Wahonis. Duncan now gonna make her put the ball in the air, and Schreiber picks up the foul at the other end. Duncan had good look from the basket, but they are not going to allow her to drive to the hole anymore.
Teresa Schreiber a little too aggressive on the block out. Just catching the tail end of that on the replay.
Couldn't quite see it there, but Schreiber had pushed off to get that inside position. She's going to take a seat right now. Dawn Dressler coming back in. You're going to see more and more minutes for Teresa Schreiber.
Pam Edwards sneaks around to break up that play.
Janice Staley trying to inbound. Wahonis, and now they're trying to equal out the foul situation. Jones called on the push. Second on Jones, third team foul. Diana, I don't know if you agree with this or not, but perhaps the officials. Boy, that time Edwards got all ball. I don't know about that one. Whether or not officials look up and they see the disparity in foul situations and think to themselves, hey, we got to even this out a little bit.
It appeared to be that same situation first half. I think at one point you said we were 6-2.
6-2. IPFW only had two
Before
fouls.
you knew it, we were about even with 7-5. So here we go again. We're at 7-4.
Edwards picks up her first foul. Tammy Schlarman at the line cannot connect on the first. And heaves a second break that time. What do we have?
Ball did not touch the rim, according to the official.
Well, I don't know about that. It was an ugly free throw, but from our vantage point, it looked like it hit the side of the rim.
Looked like it nicked
from
the side of the rim, yeah.
Trajectory. And Michael Jordan doing a little basket weaving there.
There we have Jim Wilkinson.
Jim not hearing it from the crowd tonight. That shows you how much Northern Kentucky has taken this crowd out of the game. The crowd beginning to filter in. It's about 200 right now. This game was rescheduled from Thursday night, so not a lot of publicity about it.
A lot of bumping going on between Duncan and Lindy Jones. Looks like Lindy got it after the shot, but no
Boy,
call.
Lindy's going to call that an assist. Dressler controls, and she'll be going to the line. So very crucial if IPFW wants to come back. They take advantage of the disparity, rather, in free throws.
Very heads-up play by Dawn Dressler.
Stanley with the hip, and Dressler will have two. Staley's second foul.
And Dressler sinks her first. Dawn was 2 for 3 from the field first half.
And she now has 6 points. The lead is back down to 8. 57-49, 9:20 to go in the second half. Just a minute ago, it was 14 points. This is Moreland now, giving her the 17-footer. Can't connect. 3. Lady Norse around for the ball. Wendy Recker had a hand on it. Boy, that could have been 3 seconds. No call.
Or
reset. This is Jordan down inside. Edwards going to help out.
Nice step around move to the basket by Jordan. Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you there, Paul. I think they were camping in the lane. Officials caught watching.
Tough pass. We're going to have another foul. Well, if IPFW can work the foul situation,
take advantage.
It's better than shooting from the field at this point. They are connecting on the free throws. Moreland, that's number 3 on her. And Anita Duncan comes out as well, back in the contest. Number 32, Abby Mayhew. Number 13, Angel Donnelly is in. And Dressler misses the front end. This is Mayhew with the ball. Jordan from 15. Donnelly flashing free, and Newhard with a block. Ten-point ball game, 59-49. Newhard free inside, glassing hard and going home.
That's a double bank shot.
And I don't think players call the double bank. It goes for Newhart. She now has 11. 59-51, back to an 8-point lead. And Newhart with the trip.
Take a look at the replay there at that foul.
It's a tired reach foul that time by Newhart. Tripped her up, also caught the knee in there as well. Schlarman up and all right.
Mahonis sneaks around for the 3-point shot, no good.
Jordan left wide open underneath. Jump ball called. Newhart on the block.
It's got to be about her.
And we're going to call the foul instead. The official from outside made the call. The referee closest to the ball called jump ball. So Newhart picks up her second foul.
Of course, the foul always overrules.
Second foul rather than about 20-second span. That is her third foul. And all of a sudden, we're about even at 7 fouls apiece. IPFW is 6. Jordan has another. 13 for Jordan, 5 in the second half.
Jordan only a sophomore, but a sophomore sensation for the Lady Norse.
61-51. IPFW just cannot seem to chip away to that lead, get that lead under 8. This is Edwards working baseline, blowing air. And the push called on Jordan. Newhart working for position underneath. Will go to the line with a 1-and-1. That is the 4th foul on Jordan. A very important call. She's going to have to come out of the contest. Schlarman back in. So Jordan is going to get cold on the bench there for a while with 7:44 to go. Newhart at the line for a 1-and-1. Well, it didn't take much time to set on that. Misses the front end.
Jenny's one of those free throw shooters who doesn't take a lot of time. Sometimes I think she should.
It's a second front end miss by IPFW. Donnelly the no look to Mahonis. Gonna reset back inside. Donnelly spinning glass, yes. And Donnelly seems to get open just about whenever she wants to. 6-foot center out of Kentucky. Schlarman going to pick up the foul. 2 shots for Pam Edwards.
Pam posting really hard down there. Take a look at the replay here. Goes to make the move and gets hacked.
Good entry that time from Lindy Jones. Ed Edwards, as soon as she flashed across the post. If Pam connects, we'll have another.
And Pam has the idea of taking advantage of this free throw situation. We're in the bonus. Let's get the freebies.
Edwards comes in hitting at a 64% clip. Has hit 3 of 3 in the second half. And I almost thought I put the jinx on her, but connects 4 of 4. Timeout, 63-53. Northern Kentucky still in control of this Great Lakes Valley Conference matchup. And all they have to do is continue pushing the ball inside. It's going to be very tough for IPFW to work its way back into this contest. We're going to take a timeout right now. Be back on the other side of these messages.
Vince, that new dummy cam is great.
Yeah, it'll sure give people a whole new outlook on what it's like when you don't wear a safety belt.
I think they'll get the picture.
You could learn a lot from a dummy. Buckle your safety belt.
Mental illness. We fear it. We laugh at it.
This guy's lost his
We scorn it. We think it's shameful. But these are misunderstandings. Misunderstandings that will fade away if we see mental illness for what it really is. A medical disease. A disease that can be treated if you just know where to turn. For an informative booklet, call the American Mental Health Fund.
Back to live action, didn't miss a thing. Northern Kentucky just inbounded the ball, now have 20 on the clock. 63-53, Northern Kentucky. And once again, they work it inside. Edwards picks up the foul on Schlarman before the bucket. Schlarman will be going to the line 1-1.
And disagreeing with that, let's take a look at the replay here.
Well, it's very simple from that angle what Northern Kentucky is doing. They're running someone, flashing someone down on the post after a screener runs through and clears out, takes away a trailer from down in the very bottom portion of the paint, creating space for either Schlarman or Donnelly to operate.
Schlarman hits them both.
65-53. And the Lady Norse jumped out to that lead early as IPFW scored just 1 point in the first 5 minutes and have kept that double-digit lead or near. Boy, great transition play that time. Mayhew ahead to Moreland. Donnelly with a finish. 14-point lead, biggest of the game. For Northern Kentucky, 67-53. Recker in trouble, pulls up, misses. 3 Northern Kentucky players around the ball. And it will be IPFW retaining possession. 4 new players in for IPFW. Conley in, Barb Derry in, Teresa Schreiber.
And Dottie Porch.
Dottie Porch getting her first action of the night, number 23. This is Schreiber now. Inside, had a thought about shooting, took steps. Costly turnover there, 67-53. Northern Kentucky, and they're beating the press easily that time. Duncan ahead to Moreland. Now out to Mayhew, gonna run some clock. Moreland might have, didn't exactly see. I was watching the play. The play was away from her.
She's looking for a contact lens.
That is what appears to be, and they found it. I don't know how players come up with that. You so often see a player losing a contact lens, whether it's a ruse or not. This time it appeared, I don't know why it would be in this case. They find the contact lens. So giving an assist there to Schlarman. Moreland out of the contest. Honus back in, and quickly a turnover. Conley into the passing lane. And right now, with under 6 minutes to go, IPFW has to score every possession. Derry Jones thinks about the three. Plenty of time on the clock, 14. Jones penetrating, glassing, no, but she will pick up the foul. Schlarman with a block. And that has been available for Jones to split the defenders.
Wendy Recker re-enters the ball game for Barb Derry. Here's the replay of that foul.
She got Wahonis running at her. Wahonis not quite back up to 100% yet with her speed. Wearing the bulky knee brace, Jones will have 2 shots.
A little hard on that first one.
Jones, the leading scorer for IPFW, with 17, 9 in the second half. Moreland back in the contest. Mayhew coming out. And Jones gets the second. But you can't trade a bucket for a free throw. 13-point lead for Northern Kentucky, 67-54. This is Donnelly now on the pop out. Moreland going to fire from 10, and yes. 6 for Moreland, biggest lead of the contest with 5:10 to go. Hold called on Schlarman. Dottie Porch to the line for a 1-1.
Dottie Porch from Richmond High School here in Indiana.
I'm thoroughly impressed with this Northern Kentucky team. They have controlled the tempo, Diana, and really dictated to IPFW what they were going to do on the offensive end. They lost to Southern Indiana, one of their conference losses. Also lost to Bellarmine and Indianapolis. So this is a good team, even though they are in 4th place in the Great Lakes Valley Conference. Porch misses the front end.
Shake and bake in the lane.
Duncan doesn't get the fall, but then again is another offensive rebound. And the clock draining away right now. 4.5 to go here. This is Wahonis on the dribble. Stolen out of there by Dressler up ahead. The Jones doesn't see it. Jordan with the steal. A little miscommunication that time. Jones not looking for the ball. I don't know why. 15-point lead for Northern Kentucky and a chance to run some more clock. On the clock. Duncan going baseline. Inside, beats Dressler off the dribble. Conley not over there fast enough to help out. 17-point lead now.
Need to take that baseline away. Lindy from 3. Count it.
Jones beginning to feel it now. 3 points for her, 12. Or make that 13 in the second half. For Jones, 21 in the contest. 71-57. And a 3 is about what IPFW is going to need every trip down the floor here. 3:29 to go, 14-point lead for the Lady Norse. Northern Kentucky taking the timeout. Gonna regroup here. We're gonna take a timeout right now and be back right after these messages. Okay, that's cool. Why don't you just give me a countdown? I'll say we never left.
Or call the
Back at the Gate Sports Center. We never really left. We just took a time out here. Quit talking for once. Not a lot to talk about if you're an IPFW sports fan.
Got a lot of new faces in the lineup for the Lady Dons. Tara Mazzullo, freshman out of DeKalb High School, number 50. Amy Perkins back in the lineup, number 12. And Barb Derry, number 21 for the Lady Dons.
Only one starter on the floor. That's Lindy Jones. Dottie Porch in the contest as well. Perhaps it's statement time to the team. Ripped that time, Perkins.
Nice aggressive clear out by Tara Mazzullo.
With the strip, and now Perkins working. Don't have much time. Jones setting out behind the arc. Now on the drive, Mazzullo looking inside Perkins. Bad pass by Mazzullo. Perkins up with it. No, Porch there with the board. What do we have? Foul on Duncan. No, it's going to be coming back the other way. They're going to give the foul to Dottie Porch over the back.
Take a look at that replay. I'm not convinced she was over the back. Looks like she was up above to me. That's my call from up top.
Touchy call. It would have been a better no call than a foul call. Regardless, Duncan will be at the line, 1-1. Going to have some substitutions back in the contest for Northern Kentucky. Schlarman in. And number 14, Shauna Daly. She got some time in the first half. First second half action she's seen tonight. 1-1 for Duncan.
She connects it. Just under 3 minutes to play here. IPFW trailing 57-72.
Well, Duncan has been the go-to player in the second half. She's taken it upon herself to drive to the whole 12 second half points.
Barb Derry with the rebound.
Under 3 to go here. Bad pass by Jones. Double teamed. Porch was down underneath, and now Schlarman tied up Perkins.
Some of these players not getting a lot of minutes. They're coming in here and trying to make a statement.
2:45 to go. IPFW needs to score every possession here. Trying to put Jones out for a 3. She is quickly double teamed, not going to let her have it. Kick out, Jones covered up again. Derry for 2. And once again, the story, no IPFW players around on the weak side for the board. Mahonis working out of there, got away with a walk. Gonna reset now, work the clock, 2:20, and it's draining away. 72-57, Northern Kentucky on their way to a big road win against IPFW. Mazzullo picks up the foul. Shauna Daly will be going to the line for 2. And this will be the longest losing streak of the year for the Lady Dons.
And a massive substitution by the Lady Dons.
Mazzullo, Porch, and Derry coming out. Edwards, Newhard, Dressler, Recker, and Jones back in. The original starting 5.
Gonna go with their 2-minute offense here.
They need a couple touchdowns, is right. Daly hits the second 16-point lead, biggest lead of the contest, 73-57.
Senior Pam Edwards instructing freshman Wendy Recker to let that ball bounce.
That time Jones puts it up, and Wahonis caught one in the face. She is still holding her face the other end. Northern Kentucky traveled with the ball. Wahonis might have got hit on the nose that time as Jones put up the shot.
From the way Lindy took that shot, looked like she was fouled. Wahonis with the worst of that, though.
She might have gotten her face in the shooting motion of Lindy Jones. She comes off. Angel Donnelly back in the contest. .204 to go, 16-point lead for Northern Kentucky. This one is just about in the books. It's been the quickness of Northern Kentucky and the ability to go to the glass hard on the offensive end and seal out on the defensive end. Working the rebounds that has been the difference tonight. Duncan picks up the foul. Jones going to the line for a 1-and-1. You don't want to foul in this situation. Duncan knows that, but it's going to take more than 2 foul shots for IPFW to pull a miracle out here.
Tanita Duncan leaves the lineup. 2 minutes to play.
What a second half for her. 12 points, 14 overall. Jones hits the first, has another.
Lady Dons trailing 58-73.
22 for Jones. Make it 23.
As expected, full court pressure by the Lady Dons. Near travel by Jordan across the court.
And we do have a travel. Moreland turns it over. That's got to be the only thing that Northern Kentucky has done wrong tonight, is not take care of the contest. Timeout. IPFW 73-59, 1:49 left in the contest. We're going to take a break here and be back after these messages. Would you agree with that? I don't know.
Team spirit is alive and well at IPFW. That's because IPFW has established itself as an athletic power, not only regionally, but nationally. With 11 major sports, IPFW offers talented student athletes great opportunities. Success and support of IPFW athletics comes solely from the fans, students, faculty, alumni, and the prestigious Royal Dons Club. The Royal Dons Athletic Club has over 500 members who financially support IPFW athletics, enabling the university to provide scholarships to deserving athletes. Members will receive one or all of the following: season passes to all sporting events, special seating, hospitality room, plus Royal Dons apparel and gifts. In May of '94, IPFW will host the Men's Collegiate Final Four Volleyball Championships. Royal Dons will be first in line to purchase preferred seating. Be a part of the winning tradition. Join the Royal Dons Club. We need your support. Call IPFW Athletics. Get into the team spirit.
Back to action. Lindy Jones working the glass, going hard. She was fouled by Danita Duncan. Duncan's fourth foul. Jones now with a 1-on-1 chance to break into that 14-point lead. It's a turnover down at the other end. And Jones now with 16 of the 27 IPFW points in the second half. And just how bad an offensive performance in the second half, Diana. There have only been 2 offensive baskets by IPFW players other than Jones.
Lindy's taking a little bit of leadership role there.
She connects again.
is a bright spot for Lindy, coming off of a less than average performance for her the other night. 8 for 22 from the field.
Duncan ahead, Donnelly counted and one. And this one is just about ready for the books. This is the way you break the press. Tail end that time. Edwards was down, but she was a step behind. Duncan with the feed to Donnelly underneath.
Paul, seems 4 or 5 times this evening we've been caught a step behind on that break. I'm trying to figure out if it's fatigue or what exactly is the factor here.
Well, while we were in commercial there, you mentioned that the team really seemed flat today, not only physically but emotionally as well.
Yeah, definitely not any intensity there.
This is Jones taking it into her own hands, throws up the air.
And no rebound.
1 minute to go here. 12-point lead for Northern Kentucky. They can salt this one away at the free throw line. Take your pick that time. We have Dons all over the floor. They're going to give it to Newhart. Duncan to the line for a 1-and-1. It is 75-61 rather, 14-point lead. Lindy Jones, 17 second half points. Would you agree with me, Diana? She has to be the player of the game for IPFW in a disappointing second half.
I have to agree with you there. It seemed like Pam Edwards was the one who tried to step up and take charge the other night. Lindy Jones tonight. Be nice to see if we could get a couple of them together all at the same time.
And Anita Duncan hits both. Biggest lead of the night. 16 points, 77-61. This is Dressler missing the three. Once again, the board, Northern Kentucky. Newhart picks up the foul. She is gone. 5th foul on Newhart, 51 seconds to go. Michelle Conley going to come in for her. Once again, Newhart just beaten to the position.
Michelle Conley replaces her.
Now we have some new faces in the lineup for Northern Kentucky. Number 22, Rosie Rock in. Abby Mayhew, number 32, going to come in. Wahonis coming out. She did the job in the first half. 14 first half points for her. Not in the second half. It's all right. Danita Duncan took over instead, and she poured in 14 second half points. This is Wendy Recker loading up the three and hitting. First bucket for Wendy, but it's too late now. Just 40 seconds to go. Rock now with the ball. Out to Duncan.
NKU spreading it out.
Yes, this is the 4 corner, and Moorhead fouled by Lindy Jones. 31 on the clock. This one is in the books as a loss for IPFW. Second loss in a row. Pam Edwards, great effort from her tonight. 8 points. 4 in the second half. Moreland has another.
Freshman Tara Mazzullo replaced Pam Edwards. And number 30, Janice Staley's coming in to replace Danita Duncan, number 24, who has been the story the second half for the NKU Lady Round Ballers.
Well, I'm sure she fell a little badly in this first half there. She was 1 of 4 from the field. The rest of the team, with her shooting, hit 60%. So she had certainly made up for it in the second half, getting the drives to fall. This is Conley for 3, airing it out. Dressler ahead, Wendy Recker.
Cans another 3.
Throw it, that's a 3.
That quick release.
2 in a row, and it's a 12-point contest, 79-67, just not enough time left. 13 on the clock, and Moreland going back to the stripe. Another new face for Northern Kentucky. Dawn Morningstar in, number 21. Timeout, Northern Kentucky. This one's in the books. Northern Kentucky, they're going to go to 6-3 in the Great Lakes Valley Conference. Step into a tie at worst for third place of the conference and go to 10-7 overall. IPFW, or scratch at 12-4 overall. And IPFW is going to fall to 13-5 and 6-3 in the conference. Well, the next action for the IPFW women at home Saturday night, Ashland. And just judging from tonight's performance, it's not going to be a given for IPFW. Ashland has played well at times, although they are near the bottom of the Great Lakes Valley Conference at 4-5. They lost to Northern Kentucky only by 11 at home, so it will be a close contest. IPFW just not able to shut down the interior offense of Northern Kentucky tonight, nor were they able to control the glass. We're down at 3 at halftime, scored 1 point in the first 5 minutes, and that was pretty much the ball game right there.
Don Dressler takes the 3.
And that's going to do it. Final score 79-67. Disappointing loss for IPFW, their second in a row. Lindy Jones, the leading scorer for IPFW, 25-17 in the second half. Bad news is, though, they only scored 24 points, or I'll make that 34 points. I have to go back to school and do my math. She had half the points for IPFW in the second half. Disappointing loss. We're going to take a timeout right now and see if we can have Lindy on the floor after these brief messages.
A lot of my friends have already retired. But I wasn't ready for that. So I'm still teaching. This time in Belize, Central America. I decided to join the Peace Corps. I love my kids. And the way I figure it, I have the rest of my life to play cards.
Peace Corps, the toughest job you'll ever love.
My hero, Isaiah Thomas, Kevin Costner, Mr. Wong.
These are teachers, but to the kids they've reached, they're heroes.
My hero, Mrs. Wooten. If I don't get through to that child, who knows, maybe no one else will.
Teachers have the power to wake up young minds, to be heroes, to make a difference. Reach for that power. Teach. Find out how by calling 1-800-45-TEACH. Be a teacher. Be a hero.
What comes to your mind when you think about mathematics? Clowns, street sweepers, the Red Sox, robots, the weather, earthquakes, Disney World, pineapples, conventions, parking tickets, fishing? If these practical applications of contemporary mathematics didn't make your list, you should watch public television's math series For All Practical Purposes.
You made Hey, I couldn't have gotten through physics without you.
Yeah, well, you're on your own at college.
It's not fair.
That's all right. I'm gonna get a job, you know. I'm gonna start working, I'm gonna save. And I'll be in college in another year or two.
Mike. So, what do you have planned, Mike?
I think I'm gonna go home and make a sandwich. Okay.
Support the United Negro College Fund. A mind is a terrible thing to waste.
We're back live at IPFW Sports Arena here, where the Lady Dons were just defeated by Northern Kentucky 79-67. We at IPFW are pleased to be able to bring you cablecast of NCAA athletic competition. We hope you've enjoyed the show and the excitement of intercollegiate sports from IPFW. To provide such programs, we need your support. With the help of many volunteers, we are able to produce these programs at a relatively low cost. Your contribution will help defray the production costs not covered by the Channel 6 budget. The College Cable Access Center invites you to invest in quality college programming by sending your contribution to Channel 6 at IPFW, 2101 Coliseum Boulevard East, Fort Wayne, Indiana, 46805. Please make your check out to the Indiana-Purdue Foundation at Fort Wayne and designate it for College Cable Access Athletics. We're going to go down to the floor here with Paul with the player of the game, Lindy Jones, the Dandy Don.
Paul Farbo down the floor with player of the game, Lindy Jones. Lindy at 25 is a team high, 17 in the second half, but the team just broke down offensively in the second half. What was Northern Kentucky doing?
Basically, they were getting all the deflections when we tried to pass it in. So coach wanted us to pull it out and take some outside shots and to drive so we can mix it up a little bit because, you know, we couldn't pass it in. They'd get the deflections. We wouldn't get the board, you know, most of the time. They're first in the conference in boards with margin of 12, plus 12, so they did a really good job on the boards. So we just, you know, had to try and drive and do what we could against them.
Team seemed just a little bit flat coming out here tonight. The emotion wasn't quite there. Second game in a row that you've lost now, longest losing streak. What do you have to do to pick this back up?
Well, I guess just it's a new game, and you just gotta, you know, remember that and go out there and play hard and forget about the past games. Sometimes it's hard to do, you know, when you're playing really well and then you lose to, you know, a team that you are respectively as good as they were or could beat. So it's tough. We need to work on that. Okay.
A couple of things you might want to be working on is the box out. But this team was second in the nation. I'm speaking of IPFW in field goal percentage in the country. And now you've had a couple bad games where the shots have just not been falling. A lot of standing around. What do you do from here at this point as well?
I guess a lot of shooting practice. That's all we can do. And we really need to box out better. As I said earlier, they were really good, you know, rebounding. So that's one of our major problems, I think. And our shots will soon fall. So.
Ended on an upbeat here. How about your second half? You pleased with your comeback after the Indianapolis game tonight? Did drive and got some of those driving penetration type moves that Coach Kleinfelder wanted.
Well, I didn't really realize I had that many points. I just coming out here, we just wanted to drive and, you know, to get it to the hole. And I mean, I guess it's not all that exciting when we didn't win. It'd be, you know, much nicer if we could have pulled it off, but sometimes you have to lose. Next time we'll play better. Okay, the next time against Ashland here at home, that's going to be Saturday night. We're going to send it back upstairs. Thanks, Lindy, for dropping by. Game high 25 tonight. She's the player of the game. Let's go back upstairs, Diana Small.
Thank you, Paul. We'd like to take this time to thank the Channel 6 volunteer crew and the Learning Resource Center at IPFW for their contributions to the live production of our basketball games this evening. The telecast of this IPFW sports event is copyrighted and the sole property of the College Cable Access Center and IPFW. Unauthorized duplication, exhibition, retransmission, rebroadcast, or other use of this event without expressed written consent is strictly prohibited. Don't forget to tune in to Channel 6 Friday evening, February 4th at 7:30 to see the Lewis University Flyers take on the IPFW Volleydons. Please stay tuned now for the IPFW Mastodons versus the Northern Kentucky Norse. For Paul, this is Diana. Goodbye for now.